Thank you. All right, let's see. So I went through this morning and reviewed some of 12.2, and I actually moved a bunch of stuff off. I can find the board. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. So yeah, this one's super high priority right now. Camille is reviewing the latest changes from Chinyu. Chinyu's been cranking through a bunch of work on this one. So it's one of those issues that just keeps on giving, right? They keep finding new things, new opinions. Oh, hey, we should do it this way. You should add this thing. You should. So I think one of the things we can review as a team, especially during the retro, is calling out things as MVC. It's like, yeah, it'd be great to have that extra feature on there, but the minimal change that we need is the ability to just kill, in this case, the running sidekick job. And I'm sure there's other issues. I'm not trying to pick on anyone here. This just is the highest priority one that's top of mind right now. So breaking down the issue to MVC and then spinning off new issues when other things are asked for. So that one, it's not going to make it in 12.2, but it should be done by today, hopefully. See the large import. What is going on with that one? Obviously, this one's still active as well. I think this got pushed back because of the sidekick memory killer. Yeah. This one, Alexi and I just talked about. So there were some ideas for long-term improvement. Short-term, there's an MR out there that might work. We just need to get a database review on it and see if we can ship the MR that's in there and then break off the new a new issue for supporting new line delimited JSON and all the complications that could involve, migrating, detecting, etc. So we'll look at that for 12.3 work. I think Chinyu's on the verge of wrapping up this one, monitoring memory usage of a fresh omnibus install. It's another one that's gone back and forth quite a bit. So hopefully that'll get wrapped up either today or tomorrow. And then coincidentally, there was a community contributor that Camille called out in the memory channel asking who was this person. And they happen to be working on some logging on the middleware that will solve, I believe it solves this problem, introducing the rack middleware to discover the CPU endpoint, or not solve, at least contribute to helping with that. And also with this top priority issue we have in 12.3, the structured logging in Sidekick middleware. So Camille's taking a look at those MRs. If you guys want to take a look at them, he posted them in the memory channel. Let's see, I think in our agenda, to open a new tab. So looking at 12.3, kind of talked about it a little bit. So some of the new line delimited JSON work that was talked about, but not in its own issue. I'll bring that in later on in the next couple of days. If that community contributor's work closes this one out, then that'll go away. And then what's not shown here, because it's on a different board, is the infrastructure work for Puma. So continuing to build out the Grafana dashboard so we can measure the changes that we make to the infrastructure. We still have that pending request out to dev to bring the workers down to 4 with 4 threads. I think it's at 8 and 4 right now. So we can measure and see what is the optimal configuration and then take that to staging, take it to Canary, and hopefully get it out to production by the end of the month. So Camille was going to look at that. Alexi was going to take a look at it if it makes sense. And there's more Puma related work. Yeah. And then there will be, and we'll pick up some of the intensive endpoints that Grant discovered in previous testing. So it's pretty much in priority order, except for this one's higher up for Camille. We just moved that to 12.3 because it was in 12.2. So any questions on 12.2 or 12.3 or any other comments?
No, I'm working on adding success thresholds to the performance toolkit. So when you run a K6 test, it'll come back and it should say, yeah, this is actually fine. or this is the, it's a rough guide. Annoyingly, that's actually really complex because each environment is a little bit different and they return slightly different values. Sometimes some environments will return substantially higher values, like a simple one being staging will return a very high count for listing projects, because obviously there's a lot more projects on staging than any of the other environments. So we've got a way not to make that clean. But that being said, looking at that again and looking at it on GitLab.com as well, that endpoint in particular seems to really degrade substantially the amount more projects there is in the environment, which makes sense initially. But then you look at actually what it's doing. It's always just returning 20 because it has pagination. At max, you can make it return 100. So there is probably something non-performant happening there. It probably is absolutely parsing the entire list of projects. That probably is one that needs to be improved. So probably I'm going to raise an issue on that, because in GitLab that took 30 seconds for that endpoint to return. So that one really is, I think that's just bad code in the background. I think that could easily be improved. For Pre and Pre-Puma, they do have one endpoint that does, for some reason, return much higher values, and that is actually just returning the information on a particular branch in the project. I don't know why that's happening yet, but interestingly, Pre-Puma is about half of what Puma is. Pre-Puma is about half of what Pre is, so that's good for you. That's showing that Puma's doing good stuff, but it's still about 1.5 seconds of Pre-Puma, and it's about 3 seconds of Pre. It literally is just like, it's not even that big. It's like a very small JSON of this is the branch, this is the name, this is the last commit information. So again, that could be, I'm not seeing that anywhere else. I'm not seeing that on staging, I think, or the 10K environment. So I don't know why that one's particularly bad on the, I know that Pre and Pre-Puma are pretty much the same environment. So on that setup, there seems to be something wrong. I would probably lean more towards environmental on that one, but it's something I'm going to continue to investigate. So you might still see an issue come out of that. So that's the two I want to call out at the moment. Certainly the projects API, I think, will definitely be getting raised by myself. I'm not going to call out that for like 12.3 or anything. I'm just raising that. Whether that naturally fits into the order is fine, and it's probably been like that for a long time. So I just want to call it those. There will be more endpoints coming out and issues.
Thank you. See, Fast Boot. Sadly, you did not get chosen.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. There was, I think it was the growth section, like not just one team, the whole section was chosen.
Okay.
They are trying to find the link. It's like 18 people that are going. Anyway, we didn't get chosen, so we're not going for now. It's not a no forever. It's just a no for Q4. So I'll probably close the issue, and then we can just copy it and reopen it for a subsequent time if it makes sense. So you don't have to worry about planning for travel in Q4 now.
Got a lot of travel already, to be honest, so that's probably a good thing, personally. But no, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I thought we were in a good chance because I know memory is such a priority at the moment, but I guess that doesn't matter in the end.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I mean, the team matters, but I guess that kind of thinking doesn't apply into the process.
Yeah. No, it would have been awesome, but as we're still forming as a team, I think, and I'm just this is all conjecture. I don't know what the decision making was behind these things, but they have a fully formed section. They're fairly new. They have a bunch of high priority work like we do as well. But yeah. So.
I know we're making. I know we're in the early days of making a search team as well.
Yes.
I wonder if in the future we can maybe try it again under that bigger umbrella of like search and memory. Maybe is it the engagement umbrella? Is that right? Am I?
Enablement. Yeah.
Enablement. That's the one. Yeah. Maybe you could try again next year with the enablement if they're willing to put up, 20 people. If if they want to spend more money, then that's fine with me. I mean, that's okay. But yeah, maybe that's worth an idea once the search team is obviously built in as well. Because I know I was on that call when Sid called out search. It's obviously a priority for him as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Maybe
the search team just got approved and open, and we're recruiting, and I'm the interim manager for that, so I got to interview all of those folks as well and try and hire up a team.
Well, it's not like you have much to do anyway. It's fine.
Well, they're gonna post for an engineering manager in Q4.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, because that will need a whole team, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Good segue to hiring update. So we actually
Okay.
have a couple candidates for search, which is good. Put out 2 offers last week to folks. So since we're on a recording, I'm not going to mention names. One of them's internal, one of them's external. The internal, he's on PTO right now, so we'll hear back when he gets back. I don't think there'll be any problems there. External, I just need to follow up on that one to see where we are. And then we have a 3rd candidate identified that got some good, strong feedback. So we may be full here soon. We'll see.
Is it for memory, right? Not for search. Okay, good to hear.
Yeah. So we need to fill up the working board a little more if we have more folks in the coming months. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. And then I don't know if you all saw the notes and the emails going by, but the legacy labels, team labels, are being deprecated. So the old just memory, it has a big deprecated symbol next to it or deprecated word next to it. So we're not using those anymore. We're sticking with the group and section labels or group and stage labels. So everything should be built off group, memory. And I actually had to go fix the boards because they had both labels in there, so it was excluding some work. But should all be up to date. Team page is up to date, linking out to the right boards. So that's it. That's all I had. Anybody have anything else? All right. Well, have a good afternoon for those that are on, and I'll see y'all later.
Yeah.
Bye.